Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing well. We just got a very exciting new mod in Baldur's Gate 3 with the 5e CLERIC Subclasses Combined MOD made by Sumradagnoth, who's made previously the Fighter, Barbarian, Monk, Ranger, Purple Dragon Knight, and now the CLERIC Subclasses Combined. So we're going to be breaking down all the different subclasses in this, from the Arcana, the Forge, the Grave Domain, Order Domain, Peace Domain, and the Twilight Domain. This is incredible. For those that enjoy clerics, you got a lot to love here, and these have full level 20 support, and Sumradagnoth has done a really great job of adapting some of the abilities from these into Baldur's Gate 3. Obviously, a video game is much different due to having larger maps in a tabletop setting, and some things like gold are much easier to get than in tabletop, whereas the Forge domain really succeeds. So they've done some cool ways of working around this. So we'll be breaking down all of them, just kind of give a quick description of each of these. So the Arcana domain is about spell casting, so you get some wizard spells here. The Forge domain is about fire damage, so you can enhance your weapons with the blessings of the Forge. And you also have the ability to protect your team and utilize heavy armor a bit better. The Grave domain is cool. You can actually apply vulnerabilities to damage on enemies. It's very different from the Death domain, despite sounding like it could be somewhat similar. The Order domain is all about control and spells like command and just having complete control over the battlefield. The Peace domain is more of a defensive support style class, and the Twilight domain, we've previously gotten some different Twilight domain classes in the mod manager, but this one's about kind of like stealthy based and buffing up your team in darkness, as well as giving bonuses to their initiative. So I'm first going to show off the Arcana domain. I'll take these up to level 20 to show off all the abilities. So with this one, you get choices of different cantrips. This mod also has Mistress Spells compatibility, so you can get all the different spells from Mistress Spells as well. So the Arcana domain at level 1 here, you get to choose two different spells and you get two different cantrips, and you get the Mage Armor and Magic Missile spells. That is in addition to the regular old cantrips that you get for choosing a cleric itself. At level 2, it gets the Arcane Abjuration here, the Channel Divinity ability. So pray to turn a Celestial, Elemental, Fae, or Fiend that can see you for 3 turns, somewhat similar to the Turn Undead. And I think that's actually really powerful, since we do go against quite a few elementals, fae, and fiends in Baldur's Gate 3, so this is actually a very powerful ability. Level 3 Arcana domain spells, you get Magic Weapon and the Blur spells. At level 5, we actually get a really useful spell, a counter spell. Having this on a cleric spell list is very powerful. It also has the Intellect Fortress spell here from Mr. Spells, granting yourself or target resistance to psychic damage, as well as advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. This is also extremely powerful in Baldur's Gate 3. Mind Flayers, this is a straight counter to them. And we also get the subclass feature Arcane Banishment. When you turn a Celestial, Elemental, Fae, or Fiend using your Arcane Abjuration, it may become banished if your cleric level is high enough and the target's level is low enough. So not only are you turning them, you're also banishing them. That's a really nice ability. Level 6, we get the Spellbreaker. When you heal an ally using a spell first level or higher, the ally gains a bonus to saving throws against spells equal to the level of the spell slot you use to cast the healing spell. This bonus lasts until the next saving throw the ally makes against a spell, or until long rest. This is actually really useful, and it gives you a benefit of being a healer and a bit of a spellcaster. And once we hit level 7, we get our Arcane Eye here, create an invisible magical eye. You can use to scout ahead. This is actually a really good spell for exactly that, scouting ahead. Previously, I used to use the invisible mage hand you get from the Githyanki. This just does it a little bit better. And you also get Oluk's Resilient Sphere, and then also with Mr. Spells, it opens up the spell list quite a bit. And at level 8, you get the Potent Spellcasting. You add your Wisdom modifier to the damage you deal with cantrips, and again, we got extra cantrips, so that really works out well. Level 9 has the Planar Binding and Far Step spells. And once you hit level 17, this is a very powerful ability. You get to choose one of this very long list of spells. So some ones that I would recommend are things like Steel Wind Strike, which is such a powerful spell. Banishing the foe and strike 5 different targets with a 60-10 of force damage. You can see how that's very powerful. Obviously, you can use some of the base game spells like the Odaluk's Freezing Sphere, Chain Lightning, Wall of Ice, Cone of Cold. There's a lot of great options there as well. So lots to choose from. Yeah, this is a really powerful ability. So yeah, you got that going for you. And as you continue to level up, you can take more and more spells. So it's really good. So all these have level 20 supports all the way up to level 8 spell slots. And then again, you can always go with the Chain Lightning. Now, any level 6 spells actually don't upcast due to the limitations in Baldur's Gate 3, but the lower level spells do upcast. So you can obviously go crazy with a magic missile that hits multiple times. So yeah, this is a really fun of a build if you're looking for something that's good at spell casting, as well as covering and protecting your teammates and keep them safe. And the Forge domain, this is perfect if you want to play a Dwarven cleric. So yeah, you get the action Blessings of the Forge, imbue a weapon or that's magical armor. You get a bonus +1 to its abilities there. So for attack rolls, you get that nice +1 enhancement. You also get the Burning Hands and Searing Smite spells here, so obviously fire damage focused. So this is a different version of the Channel Divinity here. So Artesian's Blessing. Whenever an attack's made with a metal weapon against a target wearing metal armor, you can expend a use of your Channel Divinity to ignore any physical resistances to the attack. So this is a little bit different from how it works in D&D, but works much better in a video game setting. So I think that this is a really useful ability. Level 3, we get Heat, Metal, and the Magic Weapons spells. And level 5, we get Elemental Weapon and Protection from Energy. Level 6, the Soul of the Forge. You're resistant to fire damage. While wearing heavy armor, you get a +1 bonus to armor class. And at level 7, we get Wall of Fire and the Summon Construct. Call forth the spirit of clay, metal, or stone. And you get the Divine Strike Fire, which does additional 1d8 of fire damage on a melee attack. Or any attack, really, because you can use offhand crossbow attacks and get that extra 1d8 of fire. And once we hit level 9, we get the Flame Strike and the Holy Weapon spells. And at level 17, you get the Saint of Forge and Fire, immune to fire damage, huge. And while wearing heavy armor, you get a bonus +1 to AC and resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. So straight up half damage from physical sources, can't be hurt by fire, and a +1 AC. Really good, again, tanky. So that's cool. That's the Forge Domain Cleric. And on to the Grave Domain. We get the Eyes of the Grave. Detect the presence of a nearby undead, remove them from hiding. You also get the Bane and False Life spells. And Circle of Mortality, which is a cool ability. So when you roll one or more die to restore health points to a spell, with a spell to a creature that's at 0 health points, you instead use the highest number possible for each die. So that's basically the periaptive wound closure just apply on your spell casting if the target has 0 health. So bringing them back from the grave makes sense. Perfect thematically, obviously as D&D subclass, that's what it's meant to do. Super cool and distinct from the Death Domain Cleric. And at level 2, you get the Path to the Grave. Curse a creature that you can see. The next time you or an ally hits the cursed creature, it has vulnerability to all of that attack's damage. For 2 turns, it'll remove it once it gets attacked as well. For a Channel Divinity, that's crazy. Just straight up, that's crazy. If you're able to do a very powerful attack, like this allows you to actually make vulnerabilities out of like slashing damage or bludgeoning damage. Slashing damage normally can't get vulnerabilities on enemies, so that's massive for those that like things like the Baldur and Giant Slayer. And you get the Wither and Bloom as well as Ray of Enfeeblement spells at level 3. And at level 5, the Vampiric Touch and Revivify spell. And level 6 ability subclass feature, Sentinel at Death's Door. When you or an ally within 9 meters suffers a critical hit, you can use your reaction to make it not a critical, just a normal hit. I think that's awesome too. So Sentinel at Death's Door, good for protecting your allies and yourself. And the level 7 spells, the Blight and Death Ward, are added to the list. And it also gets the potent spell casting, adding the Wisdom modifier to cleric spells or cantrips at level 8. The level 9 spells, Greater Restoration and Enervation, which does additional 6 to 48 necrotic damage each turn, activating and regaining health points equal to that amount. And at level 17, you get the Keeper of Souls. When an enemy you can see dies within 9 meters, you or an ally within 9 meters can gain a number of health points equal to the enemy's level +2. I think that's a really cool ability as well. So yeah, regaining your own health by taking life force from the others. Perfect. So that's that for the Grave Domain Cleric. And next up, we got the Order Domain Cleric. This comes with the command spells and heroism. So great. The command's a very useful spell. It also has the Voice of Authority. If you cast a spell with a spell slot of the first level or higher and target an ally with the spell, that ally can use the reaction and immediately make the weapon attack against an ally or an enemy within range. Really cool. So yeah, powerful ability. There was a previous Order Domain Cleric mod, and I just like having them all compiled together, and I think Sumradagnoth has done a very good job of creating a video game adaptation of the D&D 5e rule set. And at level 2, we get the Order Domain, or Demand. Attempt to charm and disarm all targets within 9 meters that can see or hear you. That's actually a huge ability. Disarming targets is nice because you can just pick their weapons up, and also charming them means they're not going to attack you. So very powerful ability. And the level 3 domain spells, Hold Person, obviously very strong, as well as Detect Thoughts. Once we hit level 5, we get Mass Healing Word and the Slow spell, which is actually a really useful one. Level 6, the Embodiment of Law. Enchantment spells, the first level or higher, are cast using a bonus action. You can see where this is going, because we got a lot of enchantment spells. Cost 1 use of the Embodiment of Law per spell. So this kind of works like the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel does, allowing you to cast enchantment spells as a bonus action, which is extremely powerful. We also get the freedom of movement and ego whip, which if the target has disadvantage on attack, rolls, ability checks, and saving throws, and it can't cast spells when you get hit with that. We get the divine strike psychic, which is very useful because of the resonance stone. Once we hit level 9, you get hold monster and dominate person. These are both enchantment spells. And at level 17, you get the Order's Wrath. When you deal a weapon with your divine strike on your turn, you curse the target until the start of your next turn. The next time an ally hits a cursed target with an attack, it takes 2 to 16 psychic damage. Huge. We like that. So yeah, this class is about control, getting the enchantment spell, so like you're able to cast bonus action, hold person, command, hold monster. It's incredible. So yeah, Order Domain is a lot of fun. And next we got the Peace Domain, which gives us the Emboldening Bond. Bond up to 2 willing creatures, including ourselves. When the bonded entity is within 9 meters of one another, they can add a 1d4 bonus to an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw once per turn. This lasts for 100 turns, so pretty much forever. Heroism and Sanctuary are these channel domain spells. And you get Emboldening Bond subclass features, so that allows you to use the Emboldening Bond equal to your proficiency bonus. And this subclass also has the Persuasion skill. That's really nice and makes sense for Peace Domain. And we also get the Channel Divinity Balm of Peace. Move up to your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. When you move within 1.5 meters of an ally, they regain 5 to 15 health points. And the ally can only receive this healing only once whenever you take this action. So it's nice. You hit this, you run around, healing your allies, kind of like a reverse Spirit Guardians. At level 3, you get Aid and Warding Bond for your spells, domain spells. And upon hitting level 5, Motivational Speech and Beacon of Hope are added to the domain spells. Level 6 subclass feature, Protective Bond. When bonded creature is about to take damage, a second bonded creature within 9 meters can use its reaction to teleport to the first creature and take the damage instead. This is really good because you can swap places, protecting your spellcasters. If you got someone that's not very high in the AC, you can help them out. And then we also got the Aura of Purity and Odaluk's Resilient Sphere. So that's a couple more Peace Domain spells. And you get the Potent Spellcasting, adding your Wisdom modifier to the damage you deal. So some of them get the Divine Strike, some of them get the Potent Spellcasting. It's nice. It's D&D. Level 9 domain spells, you get Dispel Good and Evil and Greater Restoration. And once we hit level 17, we get the Expansive Bond. So the benefits granted when you bond a creature now work with when they're within 18 meters of each other. When a creature uses a protective bond to take someone else's damage, the creature has resistance to damage. So they'll take half damage. That's actually huge. And then we also have protective bond when a bonded creature is about to take damage. Same thing, but now it's 18 meters. So really useful. Again, this is about protecting your allies and being more of a support style class, but being able to get resistance at level 17 is really nice. And finally, the Twilight Domain. You get the Vigilant Blessing, granting yourself or an ally a +3 bonus to initiative. This is huge. Normally in D&D, it's advantage on your initiative, but you can't do that in Baldur's Gate 3. So I think a +3 makes a whole lot of sense since the initiative die in BG3 is a 1d4. And you also get the Sleep and Fairy Fire Twilight Domain spells and subclass feature Eyes of the Night. So you can see in the dark up to 91 meters. And as an action, you can share your dark vision with a number of allies equal to your Wisdom modifier. So if you get your Wisdom modifier up to 18, that gives you the ability to put that on 4 people. And at level 2, Twilight Sanctuary. Emanate dim twilight at a 9-meter radius sphere. Whenever you or an ally ends their turn within this area, you can grant them either 1d6 of temporary health points plus 1 temporary health points, or any effects cause them to be charmed or frightened as a bonus or a channel divinity action. So it's nice to protect your team. The domain spells, See Invisibility and Moonbeam, get added at level 3. And once we hit level 5, we get the Warden of Vitality and also Catnap, which gives you the effects of a first... basically gives you up to level 3 spell slots back after putting allies to sleep. At level 6, we get the Steps of the Night, grant the ability to fly when in dim light or darkness. And at level 7, we get Aura of Life, resistance to necrotic damage, and anyone that gets down regains 1 health point, and greater invisibility illusion spell. And once we hit level 9, we get Mass Cure Wounds and the Dispel Evil and Good spells here. And at level 17, you get the Twilight Shroud. You and your allies have half cover while in the sphere created by your Twilight Sanctuary. So whenever you cast your Twilight Sanctuary here, first, looks beautiful. You also get that half cover for 10 turns, getting a +2 bonus to AC and Dexterity saving throws. Dexterity saving throws means you got a nice protection against fireballs and lightning bolts, which are some of the most common. So that is really nice to see. And yeah, let me know which of these is your favorite from the 5e Cleric subclass and Combine. We'll hopefully be seeing some more in the future. I don't want to spoil anything, but they are working on some more mods. So thank you to Sumradagnoth for putting this incredible mod together. And let me know if you got any comments. Comment your favorite of these subclasses and let me know what you're going to be doing with them in your next playthrough. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video.